and we're now live with this. So, yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome. We're officially here. I got my man Kudzi here. Without further introduction, you guys got to stop sleeping on this man. We have him here on the third episode of the podcast today. And it was honestly, dude, it was very organic. We were trying to link this weekend. My man, he's got some things going on. He's got a lot of great projects out, you know, and if you're sleeping, I've been sharing too. I've been sharing that 0715 freestyle on the Instagram. It's on the page. I don't know what you guys are doing. It's just, come on. So without that being said, I'm gonna cut my bullshit. Kudzi, welcome to the show, man.
Welcome. Thank you for having me, man.
Yeah, man. Let's get it going though, man. Let's let the people know like where you reign from and where you come from, man. Just tell the people about who you are.
Originally, I'm born in Akron, Ohio. My family's from Zimbabwe. Mm-hmm. So by way of Zimbabwe, Akron, Ohio, and I live in Los Angeles now. I'm out here just working.
That's how we do it, bro.
Everybody's getting to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been crazy, man. It's been crazy. Just a lot of different journeys, different paths of life. Definitely a lot of different journeys.
Definitely, man. Yeah, it's an honor to meet you, man. I'm really I'm all about what you guys got going on, dude. It was really cool how we met. It was actually interesting. You know, we'll cut to that.
Game night?
Yeah, game night. Shout out to Personal. Shout out to Up Your Game. Fucking Diesel out there, too, on the 1-2s.
Shout out my boy Huggy. Introduced me to life.
Huggy, too. Johnny Mac, and all the great people I met out there that night. It was fun. So it goes down like this. We're kicking it, right? We're out spitting freestyles. You know, it's Up Your Game. It's an open mic night. We were performing. We were doing our thing.
Gotta have the hot 16.
You gotta have a hot 16 when you're going to game night. You gotta be able, right off the dome, clips, ammo. That's just how it goes. You know, that's what we represent out there. MCs, you know? Fucking, let's see it. So we're doing our thing. It was me, my friends, Aladiz the Great. Shout out Aladiz. Shout out Dubs. And we were doing our thing. We were spitting. And all of a sudden, we had this great individual right here, Kudzi, come on over. And he was giving back one of our blunts or one of our joints that we had.
They just made rotations.
Somehow he got the blunt or the joint.
2 different circles.
Yeah, and so he's like, hey, man, thank you for it. And we were in the middle of a freestyle. Boom. Homeboy's like, let me kick in on this. And now we're here. We're chilling right now near downtown L.A., and we got him on the podcast. You know, so, I mean, look at that. Networking, it's a beautiful thing. It's a hot 16, and that's how it all started, my original concept. So, yeah, we're out here. And look at me.
Shout out to homie.
Yeah, shout out to Aladiz, man. That's another bar spitter out there. He's a great MC. He's also a part of the group called The Individuals. I'll be dropping their handles in the bio of this video, and make sure you like and subscribe.
Yes.
Every YouTuber says it. That big red button, like right down here.
Yeah, it's just nice to have that.
Hit that because, you know, we're about to run this up. But also, cool. Kuds, you're from you're from Africa.
Yeah,
Zimbabwe, you said.
Southern Africa. So
yeah, right. Southern Africa. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, though, what's your connection with African culture to your music?
Man, to my music, it's so deeply rooted. I always want to make something that sounds international at the base just because of who I am. There's so much that goes into the history, like being raised as an American child, but in an African family. You are listening to different music, you're eating different food. There's still a sense of Americanism that like you get from outside society and also inside culture, but like man, it's very different. It's like for instance, funny story. My mom was always listening to country music, Dolly Parton. She loved all the old school. Okay. So I was bumping Two Doors Down and all that stuff growing up. You know what I mean?
Let's go. That's something where I'm from. Yeah. A lot of Dolly Parton when I grew up. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So yeah, I was always rocking to like just vibey music, and Michael Jackson obviously was a big hit. Coming both sides, he's an internationally based artist. Those people were just shaking.
Everybody has to respect MJ.
So it like kind of always was deeply in my mind that like the art was connected to things that were like somewhere else, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you could take these different places and bring different things into them. And yeah, I mean, now that I'm an adult and I have a control over my artistry, I'm able to make those sounds. I'm able to create those vibrations. I'm able to bring the words to it, to bring it to life. And it's just really a good vibe. It's a good thing. It's bridging the gap. It's what I was meant to do.
Definitely, man, and I can definitely see that in your music, and that our friendship has carried on to. He had invited me out to a pool party for his album release for his recent album, Winter Nash, a quest for a global.
Quest for Kid Global, man.
Kid Global, man. It's I was here and we met another one of your friends, Benzie.
Benzie.
Shout out Benzie. Yeah, shout out Benzie, man.
Sheesh.
Wherever you're at, whatever you're doing, man.
Go check out Benzie's links too, man. We're gonna find a way to fire those off.
What everything he's got going on too, he had told me some pretty cool stuff. You know, later on, hopefully we can get him on. You know, those are future topics we'll talk about. But when I was listening to his album at this album release party we had actually right out here near this pool, it was really fun. It was a great time. Should have been there.
Immersive listening experience. It was a silent disco where everyone could just vibe out and listen to it. Like no music outside, just that vibe.
Yeah, and then you just cut out everything and you just do your thing. And all of a sudden at the end of it, we did our silent disco, and pretty much Benzie threw on. You were like, oh, throw it on.
Yeah.
He had the big, like, dude, like I want one. I still want to figure. Like, he had this, like, dude, I don't even know, dude. It was like this Jumbotron, like, almost like a transformer. I thought the thing was going to transform into, like, Optimus Prime.
Just a giant fucking
and then this thing just shoots up right out of the sky, and I'm like, oh, wow, this is great. But it really captivated, and it really gave me that sound that I was looking for. And I listened to this album, dude, and there's a song on there in particular, the 0715 Freestyle.
Yeah.
Dude, the story behind the album, first of all, the flow behind it, if you know that, it's actually, you'll be like, okay.
Yeah, we start tapping in.
Yeah, like, if you want, I would love for you to share, how did you make this album, and how long, the initial recording process, how long did it take you to record those 9 songs?
So we had there's some songs that didn't even make it on there, honestly. So, yeah. But we had done a bunch of work out here in LA. My friend Mo and I, we were just like every day waking up trying to create. I wasn't in the space to freestyle. I'm a freestyle enthusiast by trade, which means that I'm not writing. It's always going in from what's off the top of your head, and you just construct. Just wasn't in a place to really build the world that we were trying to build, and we were bashing heads about that. Like, he's like, man, come on, I need you to spit some shit over this, and I was like, you know, whatever. And one day, I kind of was on the other half going, well, just get me some more beats, you know what I mean? Even though he was getting me a bunch of beats, I was just like, well, give me more beats, you know what I mean? And one day, I finally was like, you know what, fuck it. I'm going to just go over the beats that he's giving me. I'm going to just lay these down. His laptop was open. It was right there. And I just put them all in order, really. Like, I was like, let me just line them up in GarageBand so they never stop. You know what I mean? I can just do it that way. And that was what was crazy, too, is the first recording was not done. Or it was done in Logic, actually, not GarageBand. We did it in Logic. But still, I was like, all right, whatever. It was just like such an on the fly. It's so rough. Made it, and they were in the album's 18 minutes and 47 seconds.
Roughly, yeah. It's a quick listen. Like, don't underestimate it, guys. Just give. I know a lot of you guys sit on your phone for 2 hours straight looking at Instagram.
The album's album's less than 20 minutes, and like, it's just so. Like, how it happened, you can feel it, and we were just like banging that shit out. I really was spitting everything off the top of my head, and he had already put in all that effort and energy into the instrumental, so it's just raw, rugged, and real, meeting each other. So the songs came out, flow. He was out the shower, 15-minute quick whatever thing. He's like, man, I wish you would just like, and I just hit play, you know what I mean? And I was like, wow. And he was like, damn, bro. He was like, this shit's fire. That shit's fire. Like, we loved the album for like a year. We were just like chilling, just the two of us, just in love with this album.
Just working and making it work.
Not even doing anything with it. Just listening to the rough version that we had done in 16 minutes. Just like, this is fire. We shot like rough. There's a video online called Fixation. There's 2 videos for Fixation. And one of them is like a rough video that we did with iPhone. That's just us walking around the neighborhood. And like, we cut it up because we were just in such a heightened sense about it. And like people, when we made it, we put that little video out, it was just for our little small group of people, and they really loved it. You know what I mean? They were really like, this is fire. And we were like, all right, cool. So there was a bit of time that went on, and I decided to put the project out on Bandcamp. Mm-hmm. That's what it was. I was like, you know what, just for historical sake, so I always have it. You don't have to charge people through Bandcamp. Shout out Bandcamp for letting you choose your own prices and say what you pay. I fuck with that in the industry. It's really raw. Put it out, and mad people were buying it. People were like, oh, I'll give you whatever. But it was free. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So people were just sending me money for it. And I was like, damn, that's crazy. Let me just, like, dial back real quick. You know? Because the profits really were between me and Mo. But it wasn't, like, a lot of money.
It was mutual.
Like, but it was still, like, yeah.
But it was something, like, your art was getting recognized.
Like, quick 5, 10.
It don't matter. I mean, in this industry, like, anything, you know, it's a process.
Yeah. So I was like, whoa, like, so I was like, all right, let's just make this non-compete, like, $0. It is what it is. And I got it in my head that I was like, you know what, though? I really do love some of these songs. Like, and I've been wanting to make a project, you know, I'm sitting on this. Like, it wasn't very many people who had heard it, you know. It's just like, you know, minor grade. Like, hadn't spread the word out to my friends. Nobody here in LA knew that I made this project. It was just between me and Mo. Mm-hmm. So I was like, all right, cool.
And one thing I want to say too, I noticed on your Spotify, the last time you had dropped an album, there was you have previous work, before, and so I had noticed that this was your first project in a while.
Yes, there was What, you saw the singles, right?
Yeah, no, your singles, of course, but in terms of a full-length project.
So the singles were actually a full-length project meant to come out together.
Ah.
Big distribution issue. This was actually, like, done through an actual distributor. But I put the project out on Ditto Music before on my own. And then they were like, oh, take it down. So I had to take a year on, like, taking this project, on taking No Longer Just a Rap Thing. Those singles were all an album. Taking them down, figuring out if I wanted these people that were going to distribute to work for me, if it was really a thing. And I was like, you know what? No, I'm just going to put them out as singles. I'm cool with it. So I ended up not being able to re-release it via my own internet platform because technically they think I don't own the rights for it. And I'm like, I am Kudzi and I'm going to offer. You know what I mean? Like, and they're like...
So is that just like that, not mainstream, but is that just like bigger, kind of like a record label? Like they almost like...
I don't know what that was, honestly. It was just people who wanted to help me out, you know, along the way. And I was like, all right, cool. Like, that sounds like a plan. But realistically, they didn't have a plan. They just liked the music, you know what I mean? They were like, you're just doing something fire. Yeah. And I can handle that myself without having to pay for something. You know, it was already on the way out. I already had released it via the free distributions, Ditto Music and DistroKid. They're not free, but you pay like a little small fee, and it's nice. But it's still like it was an interesting time. So that project doesn't look like an album. It looks like there was maybe like 3-4 years between pieces and then the next project.
Okay.
But there is an album that I worked on. It's called No Longer Just a Rap Thing or No Longer Just Art, and it's really like that body of work was like the piece that like propelled me into this, like, okay, let's make different stuff into international, like try something new.
Try a new realm, a new persona of who you are as a hip hop artist.
So I got this opportunity. I didn't really like, I'm excited to make the next project because you always get to try a new thing. You know, you're always like, okay, well, I didn't really do everything I wanted to do on that project. Let me try something else. You know what I mean? So with Internash, the year had gone by that we had loved listening to it, and Mo decided to go back to Akron on some, like, you know, I'm about to just move back and go take care of my thing, you know, left LA. And I was like, all right, well, cool. Like, I guess if he's going to go do that, I'm going to do my own thing. I started trying to cook up, figure out new things. I was working with all kinds of producers, like making new music, writing for people, doing stuff. And I was like, you know what? Oh, pandemic hit. That's what it was. And that pandemic hit, brain started thinking different. Man.
Everybody was trying to get their paper.
What, bro?
Everybody was trying to run it up.
I was also sitting on a bunch of bread. Like, I was literally, like, caked up. And then the government started throwing cheese. And I'm like, all right, well, like, I could revive a project that I loved, you know what I mean? Because now I got the finances to like just fly wherever and pay people who I want to work on the project.
So
and
you
bring it to life.
networked and you took advantage of the opportunity
It was
to get around.
so my brain was like, well, Nash, I want to make it a Nash. Like I jumped right into it. I was like called Mo, got my homie Austin on the phone who like financed and produced on this, like helped with that big time, and also did the art and graphics that we're gonna end up putting the line out.
Fire.
Yeah. Well, the cover art was done by this girl named Timun. But the art for the clothing is done by my homie Austin, and I love him for that. But yeah, we all linked up on the phone. We're like, you know what? Let's make it a thing. Let's all just meet in Ohio. Let's get a fat B&B. Let's have a great time. That week was crazy. Had an insane fucking experience. Man, it was crazy. Got so much done. Insanity. Like the first night in our B&B, it's COVID, so you're not really allowed to have this many people around.
Let's go. You were one of those people.
We're in a fucking loft, nice as fuck.
What? So where were you at though exactly?
Cleveland.
So you were in Cleveland. So you were in Akron? Or Cleveland,
Ohio. So I was supposed to do the album at this place called Liquid or something like that. I don't remember. It was like a recording studio in Cleveland. We had this fat B&B in this loft. It was beautiful. We had fine-ass girls come through. A bunch of the homies pulled up. Everybody was kicking it. Before that, we were doing a photo shoot at this place called The Nine, bro. The Nine is where everybody goes to kick it, right? So we're up there at The Nine taking pictures and shit. And my homie pulled out some ecstasy. He's like, he's like, you want? So everybody was lit. Everyone was just on fire.
Let's go.
And we got back to the B&B, which was like a nice photo shoot spot. We're taking heli pictures. We're vibing out. Everybody's in the water, just feeling themselves, you know. And it was cool. Wake up the next morning, and they were like, yo, you guys had a bunch of people, blah, 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 blah. You were like on the elevator, which I was on the elevator getting it with this lady who lived there. Like, we were just like dancing and
That's
shit.
how it's supposed to be, right?
They're like, we saw you like dancing with one of our tenants, like, and we told you like there's COVID laws, so you guys gotta leave. That was the very next day. So like, boom, now we're out on our ass with the Airbnb gone. So my brain, I was like, all right, cool, whatever. I dropped a little acid because the homie gave it to me out of nowhere, and I was like, perfect.
So you were in this time though. It was almost like not a spiritual experience, but your brain, like COVID.
I was on a journey. I was most definitely.
COVID put you on a journey.
I was most definitely on a spiritual journey, though. I wanted to figure out the art of collaboration. I wanted to figure out what life. I wanted more turbulence as well, you know what I mean?
Hey, there we go. That's a really good structured word to put that.
Yeah, I wanted to feel like the emotion of life, and I went out of my way to go do that, and when that shit happened, I was like, whoa, this is too much. Like, I was like, that's crazy. But the vibes were so great. Paper in my pocket, I don't care. I'm in my home city. I have so much love here. So, boom, I link up with my boy Drew. He gave me a place to stay, no problem. He's like, come on, let's just float the lake. Let's just chill. Fuck that shit in Cleveland. Let's do the session. Somebody mentioned it to me at the bar on some homie shit in Akron. You know what I mean?
There we go.
Somebody's like, fuck Cleveland, bro. Do that shit at Akron Recording Company, bro. It's a new staple in Akron. It's fucking popping. You should be the one to go there and like make it shake. And I was like,
you lived in Akron.
I was like, this is my city. You
That's
know?
your town.
Turns out the homie who runs it was an old homie of mine I went to high school and played baseball with. All love.
There you
get
go.
studio time. I'm supposed to gatekeep this shit, bro. I'm supposed to be gatekeeping on this.
He's giving you $1 million worth
tell
of
you the
game
right now
for free. And this is, I'm telling you, see, when you network and brand.
I'm going to tell you the game right now. I did 4 sessions. I did 3 sessions, sorry, that were damn near overnight in Akron, Ohio for $400. I dare you to ask how much that would cost in Los Angeles.
That would probably, I've done my research because I'm a young artist.
Bro.
It's thousands.
And
especially it's more expensive overnight.
Go listen to the album, and then also I implore you to find engineers that are willing to lock in with you at that level and like be in the seat for that long and just be like, yeah, this is just, it's a different vibe. It's such a communal vibe. It's love. It was embrace. It was perfect. We had been thrown out on our ass and somehow found home and refuge in our own home that we should have never tried to leave in the first place. Like, in that sense, I was like, this is perfect. So I got the session popping. First night was like 25 people came through, just all these arts and creatives that I love, like some people who just run the city on their own thing. Shout out to my homie Sway, came through with the Better Together program. Shout out to my boy Pablo, who's out here in LA now. He's going hard. Pablo Speaks. Look him up. He's dope. so many cool ass people. My boy Josh Robertson, he came through with the camera, was snapping heli pics. My man Seth, who's been holding me down since day one, Drew came through with his daughter. It was lit. It was leapy.
That's
it was
how you do it.
My boy Sam McKeever came through, who I've known him forever. Like, and he just wrote some lyrics for me out of nowhere. He just threw me some lyrics for a song. I'm like, all right, cool. Get this kid a writing credit. So I started seeing my brain turning. I was like, damn, these songs are evolving.
You know what's crazy is there's
Big
always times
shout
in
out.
our life that take moments out.
Absolutely. Now, major shout out, last but not least. You know what I'm saying? To the instrumentalist that came through. Tommy Lehman. Man who played the trumpet on that. Tommy Lehman.
Yeah, you had mentioned at the album release party that you made the album, but when you were doing this, you made it like it was a jazzy, like you brought a lot of
now, these
horn
guys,
instruments.
Some of these guys were my old bandmates. Some people I've just played music with for some time. Some people I just met the first time that weekend. Mm-hmm. But Tommy Lehman is a staple, man. That kid changed the album. He came through with his trumpet and really brought that thing to life. I love you, Tom. That was crazy. I love that dude,
shout
bro.
out, Tom, man. I don't know you, bro. Hey, but hopefully, man, if you're a great horn player. I used to play saxophone. I would love to have you out on the podcast. I mean, I'm all about it, bro.
Put your link at the bottom, Tom.
Yeah.
Put your link at the bottom.
Just
Come
put a
on out.
comment and just let me know. And you can also hit me up on a Hot 16's Instagram, HOT_16S. We'd love to have you on, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for getting me out on that, bro. Because, dude, like, I really love your album, dude. And I always vibe out in my garage all the time. Like, I love listening to music. That's where my studio is, away from here. We're actually doing I call it the mobile podcast service, at your call. So we're out here we're doing a mobile podcast today. We're out on the road. We're in downtown LA, so we're out here tapped in off Figueroa with my boy. But yeah, typically where I'm at, dude, we got a whole thing going on there. And when I got you on the top of the playlist. I just like sweet. Was it like sweet like D'Angelo?
Oh yeah,
ripping in. I'm dropping flows. I just
R&B high to low. That's the way.
It's not that the beat's changing. It reminds me of a Mac Dre song. Shout out Mac Dre. Romp in peace all day. Oh, yeah. He's watching over me. Always day. This king. Hail in peace. It's a song I have connection with. Mac Dre has a song called Cutthroat Soup, where it's like 5 different beats in a song. But I feel like you captivate like 5. Like, I think, bro, it almost sounds like it's 5 different people.
Yeah. That freestyle shit was fun. It was tight.
I feel like there's other people on the song.
Yeah.
I'm like, but it's not.
No, it is. There's Pablo's on there. That's the other person.
What part?
It just like...
It's been a hard... Is that you?
That's me, yeah.
Okay, let's see if I can figure this out.
Yeah.
No,
like D'Angelo, that's me.
Okay, I mean...
You gotta go listen to the song, though. 715 freestyle.
Yeah, let's keep it short. Like, Pablo's on that.
Yeah,
we're smoking a spliff right here.
But yeah, it's a really interesting song because we did kind of blend that one together. We were just next to each other freestyling.
Can I ask you this? Was that recorded like on like July 15th? What's like...
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah. That's what because see, Kendrick Lamar had his Untitled Unmastered where he put his dates into the titles of the song. Mm-hmm. So I kind of picked up on that. I was like, I figured this had to have been recorded in the summer.
I can't remember. I can't recall, actually.
Like, bro, the title, I mean, like, if that's cool, I mean, that's cool, but, like...
Maybe it was 7:15 p.m., though, because, like, who knows? I don't remember. I didn't make the title. I got the song that way.
Really?
Yeah, I received it as a document that was 0715 freestyle. And
so
you
kept it that way?
Yeah, and I was like, all right, some people... I was like, the Adam Sandler line in there, and some people were like, oh, that shit's fire. What's the line? Damn.
I'm trying. You got me on a good one. I tell you, I listen to the song. See, you know what's funny? You know those people you ask if they're wearing a shirt?
Oh, yeah. He's Big Daddy like Sandler. I'll handle her. I don't know.
Big Daddy like Sandler. I'll handle her.
Yeah, she was just a different vibe. And somebody was like, you should call the song Sandler. You know what I mean? And I was like, no. I was like, I guess. So like, there was time where we were like just calling it Sandler for a little bit. We were like,
you know what? The reason why that I clicked on the song, it had freestyle in the name.
Yeah.
I'm a type of person, when I look at an album initially, especially like Tech Nine and all these artists that I used to listen to when I was growing up, I used to always like, you don't know what you're getting yourself into, okay? Mm-hmm. Like, fuck, you don't know if the song's going to be good or bad, okay? So me and my buddy, it was always click a title based off what you like. Just some word in the title that catches your name.
Yeah, what got your eye?
I'm a freestyler. Kudzi here, he loves to freestyle. So the word freestyle, I was like... all right,
let's see what these bars are.
Let's see what these bars hitting,
Let's
right?
see
Okay, and immediately I was like, hey, yo, I hit that heart on Spotify.
Yeah.
And I pop
it's
it
a
all
fun
the time.
vibe. It's a fun vibe. And we had like, so, all right, so let's just get back to the production of Internash, and then we'll talk about 0715. So, like I said, Nash was made a whole year before the whole album, right? Like 0715 was made that day in the studio. That day in Ohio, in Akron.
So that was, because you told me that there was 9 songs on the album, 16, so 7 didn't make it, so some songs were made at that first time, and then the rest were made over in Akron at the session for 3 days.
No, all of them were made, all of the songs were made besides 0715. All of the songs were made, and it's very interesting how they were made in that moment, because there's people who wrote for the songs. Like, there's a song, Smooth Talker, that we worked forever, but we had made it that day in the freestyle. You know what I mean? Just because the people who were around. There is another song my homie Rassam was there for, and he's the one who freestyled it initially. He has the writing credit for it. Because
for 07.
No, for this song, there's another song on the album called Main Line.
Okay.
Now, if you go listen to this one on Bandcamp, Rassam is the one singing it. Because that day, Rassam, when we freestyled, he's just like, I really want to be your man. He's just singing. I was like, throw that on there. So I was just like, jumping. I hopped on that bitch and we just laid it down. That was it. He hopped out the shower. We were like, damn. And I'm telling you, bro, like, to collaborate at that speed, to be moving like that. Now, we took time to write more lyrics. Smooth Talker was done like 24 times over, bro. It's crazy. Like, we came out with different lyrics, different versions, different people.
Certain flows are like, you gotta find it. It's a certain pattern.
Yeah.
You know, some songs are one take.
Yeah.
Some songs are
But
24.
having that moment where it's like, but we ended up ultimately, okay, so then we take the album, we ultimately take it to Akron, Ohio, to Arc Studios, where we have all these songs that are already done and recorded. I played the album for everybody, and they were like, wow, this is super fire. And I was like, okay, well, I want you guys to play on this.
Yes.
Instrumentalists. I wanted them to, like, play their instrumentals on top of it, what we had. And we ended up going in there, laying down more vocals, putting more people's voices over it, singing with people on background harmonies. Like on June Interlude, we had people go in that tell me if it's all right if I'm by myself. We had a bunch of people come in and sing on that. And, like, it just felt really nice to have all those voices in the room. So I was like, all right, cool. That's fire. That's flame. Like, I'm really with that. The project was in the bag. You know what I mean? I just wrapped it up, and then I flew back to Los Angeles and dropped it off with my homie Knox, Photo Knox, who is just amazing. Photo Knox, you know, he took his time to really perfect the sound for it, make it everything that it needed to be. It was really interesting of a journey. It was interesting to do all that in 3 days. To do it all in one day and be like, oh, this is a project for like a year, you know, where you're like sitting there like trying to find your next thing. And then your next thing turns out to be that thing that you took 4 minutes, 18 minutes, whatever long it took to do. And there's songs, like I said, that just didn't make it. We took this song called Hours off of there. You gotta go look at the Bandcamp version. There's another song called Good Time that Darla sang on. And we ended up just putting 0715 and the Black Butterfly Poem is the other song, the other thing that's on there that was sent in way after the fact. Tafadzwa Mahachi shot him out. He's from Zimbabwe. Yeah. And he sent me a poem after he had connected with me online over the Zimbabwe song when I released the video. So that was like the last piece to the puzzle. I added him on there, and then we were like, all right, cool. But along the way, it was a really interesting journey, and to have all that stuff happen so quickly, like, it's always a process. It always takes time. It still was about a year-long thing at the end of it all to release it, to have it finished after. So it was like year one, making the 15 minutes, take a year, then wrap it up, take another year. So almost 2 years to do this thing, you know, like, and like to move on to the next beast. And like all of that is just very interesting to me, how it comes out. It's all a chapter. It's all a piece of a body of work. And it helped me move into collaboration space. Like I was saying, it helped me move into this place of like, oh, you know, like it's very fluid to craft and create with people. Like if you can get the room going, if you can make it happen for folks, like where they're just feeling it. Like, so I've been interested in that like lately, and just moving into script work and writing movies and stuff with people.
Hey, hell yeah,
Texas. Bro. Yeah, I ended up flying to Texas right after that and writing a movie called Boys Make Noise. and finishing one that I wrote myself called Deep in the Woods with like a group of people.
Wow, that's something I just learned. I didn't know you were making short movies, so there's more to the international.
Oh, there's more to Nash, man. I shot and directed, or I directed the videos.
Hey, really quick though, I do want to give a quick shout out though. You say Texas and Nash, he's gonna be listening. Shout out to my boy Nash, out from Santa Cruz.
Oh yeah,
that's just a connection though. He's a good friend of mine. Nash, I love you, man. I don't know where you're at. I know you're out there doing some vigilante stuff. You're traveling across the states, bro. But Nash, though, but he's from Texas. He's just a good friend of mine. So I just want to give a shout out to him.
He said vigilante. This boy out there trying to save lives. I feel it.
Well, you know I
thought he was Batman for a second.
Well, no, he's not. He's not saving lives. See, vigilante, where I'm from, vigilante lifestyle is not. It's not that you're just anti-government. It's like you're just like kind of you live away from the government. Like you can live off the land. You can provide for yourself, natural resources. You can travel. You don't need a home. You don't need an internet. You don't need those materialistic things to survive.
Nomadic almost.
There you go. He's like a vigilante nomadic type, and just like he's very cool. So we'll keep it short and sweet, but just that little connection there, man.
Dang, Nash,
let's give a shout out to Nash really quick. He's so prideful in Texas, man. Every time we play hip hop, one thing about him is when we would play music out in Santa Cruz, he'd always put on that Mike Jones. He's like, bro, I'm so prideful of that still tipping or that back then. So we would give him his little time. So shout out Nash. Hope you're doing well, buddy. We're out here, Internash, Texas.
Yes, sir.
So you went out and wrote that movie, though. You did your thing. So what was the plot and premise on that?
I can't tell you, man, because these two are in the works, bro.
Oh,
I really can't share them right now, but I will talk about it when we're off of the podcast.
Oh, no, that's totally fine. That's all fine.
But yeah, man, I wrote 2 projects. I'm just gonna start shopping around to get those out, like to the places they need to be. But I've put them in a lot of people's hands so far, and I really am hyped to bring film to life because I love music, but my music is so theatrical. It's such a score. It's where I'm from. The culture in me demands that. It almost is like I want to make a epic out of everything instead of just regular music. So I've had to balance that out with artists, you know what I mean? I've had to balance that out with people and the way I work with folks and like where we're in a sense to show that we're taking music into a new direction. We're going to not just do what we regularly do. Let's get off of our regular scheduled program and, flip the channel to something crazy over here, like see what's going on. So Nash was definitely a step in that direction, getting with all those artists. Those people had never worked together. They all were free. They were all fucking going ape, man. They were going in. I'm so proud of them. Like, shit was really fun. So next level is to take everything in that direction. And my passion is film work. It's where my heart lies, is just the movies, man. I love it.
That's awesome, man. I'm so glad that you have such a wide variety of like skills. It seems like I mean, you do a film, you're making music, you have albums, and also too, man, you're doing all these great things out. I see you doing. You're traveling. You're doing all this. You're getting your name out there, man. Like I'm, dude. It's
Road
awesome.
Warriors, man. The Road Warriors.
Yeah, dude. I'm just. It's really great. That we have Kudzi on here today. It's already been a really fun podcast. We still got some time, so we're rolling some questions. But another one I got for you, man, is what can we expect like right now? Like what's something my audience can be on the lookout from you? Maybe it be an album, a single. Do you have shows coming up? Do you want to go out and perform as an artist or with your art?
Yeah, I would love to, man. I have shows coming up. June 23rd in San Francisco.
Hey, shout out Frisco.
The dates, we'll put those down, or we'll put the locations down because I actually don't remember the venue.
Hey, but really quick, if Kudzi is going to be in San Francisco, the sole proprietor motivation of this podcast is the Bay Area.
Yeah.
So I'm going to need all my Bay Area folk, North Bay, the town.
I can't even see my calendar from here. I'm looking at the date like so hard. But no, it's my mom's birthday that day, so we're going out. I'm going to try to take her out as a family thing and just do the show go the night before, celebrate, do the show, come back, and then the next day I have another show at Catch One LA. That shit's going up. Be there at 8 p.m. That's June 24th. And then June 25th, we're doing something called the Groovin' Mix. I got a lot of shit popping, as you can tell.
I'm just going to say, I'm going to reiterate it. This podcast has a lot of Bay Area back behind it. I'm talking not the soul and backbone, but the music, the culture.
Yeah.
I'm dude, hyphy, man. Like I always say in my last post on my Facebook, hyphy will not die until I die.
I feel that. Shit.
You know?
Let it be. Well, yeah, so, yeah, June 23rd, San Francisco. If you're there, pull up. We'll get the dates and stuff after we get off. We'll
and we're definitely going to be dropping that on the Hot 16's Instagram and our Facebook page, too. We're going to be sharing that, too.
Yeah.
You're definitely going to get the coverage on that, so we got you there. But yeah, everybody, pull up June 23rd in Frisco. We'll get the information
in
to
Los
you.
Angeles, pull up June 24th. Catch one LA. That shit's about to be fire.
Exactly, and I need all my Southern California
That's where it's
people
at.
to check in with my boy.
So yeah, right after that, we're just going into more shows, man. I got a lot of stuff going on, and we're also doing the Y'all Had to Be Here, Juneteenth.
That's June 18th.
That's June 18th.
Yep.
So that's like the one we got to talk about. That's Just Vibes Collective. We're all going to be out with the squad, the homies going hard.
Pull up. I'll be there for sure.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun one. Juneteenth.
Didn't you guys have
Bar
LD
Lubitsch.
pull up to the last one?
Oh, yeah, Lil Dicky was there. That was fun. We had a lot of different people come to these shows, man. A lot of great comedians in the building, man. You got to come and check that stuff out, for real. It's Y'all Had to Be Here for a reason, because if you missed it, damn.
And they're so. Here's the thing. I didn't make it to the last one. I was like, oh, let me check the socials. They ain't putting shit. Like, you legitimately had to be there.
Yeah, you had to be there.
Yeah,
I mean, you'll get some pictures of some celebrities. You'll get some pictures of some cool people. You'll get some pictures of some. I don't know what the fuck people are taking pictures of. You'll get the stand up. You see us in the bits. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Run it up.
Getting,
and definitely go there with an open frame of mind.
Yeah.
No Karens.
Yeah. Come in feeling good.
Yeah.
Leave feeling better. It's great
There
like
you
that. But yeah, so a lot of shows, and honestly, shout out to the boys. I gotta put that first and foremost, man. Shout out to my guys. Like
you do your thing.
It took a minute to say, but I love you guys, man. Shout out to Just Vibes Collective. We need to get that gang up. We need to really make sure these shows are tight and ready to go. So Juneteenth, pull up. We've been having some killer vibes recently and just enjoying that shit. So let's just get it all together. And I don't know the schedule quite for Just Vibes.